Hi, my name is Salamah, and for final public speaking project, I choose storytelling. And today, I will be telling you the story of Totto-chan, the little girl at the window by Tetsuko Kuroyanagi. Okay, the story is about a little girl, a real one, a girl who simply wanted to be understood. Her name was Totto-chan. She was just like many children, curious, full of questions, full of dreams, but not everyone saw her that way. At her elementary school, the teachers called her naughty. Why? Because she loved looking out the window, because she talked to people on the street and invited them inside the classroom, because she asked too many questions than any teacher could answer. She was that kind of child, so full of life that the walls of her classroom felt too small. And to those who valued quiet compliance over curiosity, she was simply too much. So one day they expelled her, and they told her mother, "We don't think she belongs here." But her mother didn't scold her. She didn't say she was a bad child. Instead, she took Toto-chan's hand, smiled, and said, "We're going to try a new school." That new school was Tomoe Gakuen, a school with classrooms made from old train carriages, each one transformed into a vibrant learning space. A school where lessons didn't begin with bells, but with wonder, where students weren't forced into silence, but encouraged to speak, to question, to be exactly who they were. And the headmaster, who above all things believed in children. His name was Mr. Kobayashi. The first time Toto-chan met him, he sat her down and he listened. She talked for hours about dogs, about birds, about the people she'd met on the train. She talked and talked until she had nothing left to say. And when she stopped, he looked at her kindly and said, "You are very good girl." That was all. No punishment, no lectures, just those simple words. And in that moment, something in Toto-chan's heart changed forever. At Tomoe Gakuen, no one was taught to be the same. Every morning began with a choice. Children could decide what subject they wanted to learn first: math, reading, music, or nature study. But what made Tomei truly different wasn't just the train carriage classroom or the freedom to choose. It was how the school saw its students. Some couldn't run as fast, some needed help with simple things, and some learned in ways that didn't fit the usual mold. In other places, they might have been behind. But at Tomoe, their differences weren't something to fix. They were gently welcomed, respected, and even celebrated. Tata-chan met friends who were unlike anyone she'd ever known. One of them was Yasuaki, a boy with polio. He couldn't walk like the others. His legs were weak, and he moved carefully with the helpful crutches. But to Tato-chan, he wasn't someone to pity. He was a friend, kind, wise, brave in his own quiet ways. And one day, she asked him if he'd ever climbed a tree. He hadn't. No one had ever asked him to try. So Toto-chan helped him. She guided him gently, step by step, until he reached a low, sturdy branch. It was hard, slow, scary, but he did it because someone believed he could. And for Yasuaki, that moment was everything. For Tata-chan, it was one of the happiest memories she would carry for the rest of her life. But not every part of her story was bright. Because even the bravest hearts can be taken too soon. It was during the long, hungry days when rice grew scarce and the sound of sirens echoed closer that Yasuaki's health began to fail. His body, already tired, grew weaker, and one day he was gone. Toto-chan didn't understand at first. She waited for him in class. She looked for him near the tree, but he didn't come back. And for a long time, the girl, who couldn't stop talking, sat in silence. Mr. Kobayashi didn't try to explain the pain away. He didn't ask to be strong. He didn't ask her to be strong. He simply stayed near her quietly. And in his quiet, she found comfort. Then came the war. Bombs fell, loud, sudden, and cruel. The sky turned red, then black. And Tomoe Gakuen, the little school that had been built with dreams and kindness, was burned to the ground in a rain. Gone, just like that. But what they learned there, what they shared, what they felt, those things couldn't be destroyed. Not by war, not by fire, not by lust. And years later, Toto-chan would grow up to become a writer, a television host, and an advocate for children everywhere. And she would write this story not because she missed her childhood, but because she wanted the world to remember that children are not meant to be silenced. They are meant to be heard. They are not broken when they do not follow the rules. They are just looking for someone who sees them. And sometimes that's all it takes. One teacher, one school, one moment of kindness. So maybe when we see a child who talks too much, who can't sit still, who drops in the corner of their taste paper, maybe instead of asking what's wrong with them, we ask, what are they trying to tell us? Because that's what this story is really about. Thank you.